will be my first ever unboxing video. And of course, it will be my Carroll Stream Motor Company engine that I ordered. So let's open up this bad boy and see what's inside. Something loose in there already. I probably should have got a knife, but screwdriver works. What on earth is that rattling around in there? Oh, that is pretty sweet. Got me a nice little koozie from Carroll Stream Motor Company. There's their phone number and website as well, if you're interested in ordering one of these sweet little motors. They sell motors for everything, like snowblowers and lawnmowers, and there's a lot of practical purposes, I guess. Generators. Got an owner's manual, and oh yes, 2 sets of keys to start this bad boy. I vouched for the electric motor. Alright, let's see, what is this? This is probably just a tool to help put it together. Pretty well packaged in here. I need to set this down to pull this out. It's not too heavy. Styrofoam. Spark plug in the bag. Cool. Okay, here she is. 6.5 horsepower motor with the electric start. It's got a little circuit protector there. I'll have to read the instructions on how that works. Pretty sweet. Let's see. Looks like a giant muffler there on top. The box around it. Drive shafts wrapped. And there's just a hair of oil on the stick. Not sure how much oil they ship with. I've read on some of these too that there's like a 3-hour break-in time. So I'm gonna need to read the instructions and see what you need to do, but basically you run it motor, put some oil in it, run it for 3 hours, I guess, straight, and then change the oil and put in your regular oil in. I think the break-in oil is the same too. I think it's just like regular 10W 40 or 30 or whatever. Styrofoam on top there. Oh, it's got a chain. That's cool. Well, that answers that question. So, just kind of checking the oil, and I was worried that the oil was kind of low, and sure enough, a little note there that claims there is no oil in the crankcase. And make sure that you got your oil and fuel and all that set up. So that's not too bad. And I was looking through the maintenance record section here, and it appears nowhere in the instructions does it mention any break-in time. So, but there is, it looks like an initial, that first one, first month or 20 hours, you change the oil. So it's got a little bit of a break-in, because after that, obviously, it's every 6 months or 100 hours. It's not too big of a deal, I guess. It's pretty cool. It's got a couple of features on it too that I like a lot. One of them, which I'm not familiar with on a small motor, is a engine oil alarm. So that's kind of cool. The breaker here, it also talks about too, you know, if there's a short or a polarity issue, it will pop. So that is also another cool feature to have, so you don't mess it up, since this is a key start, electric start motor. Okay, let's get some oil in this thing. This just runs the standard 10W30. Looks like this side is the fill side and the other side is the dipstick side. I read the instructions earlier. It says it takes 500 milliliters of oil. So we can get this cup to fit. That's going to be interesting. Okay, we got about 300 milliliters in it, and it looks like it's already good. Instructions say that the oil level mark is right here by the plug, and kind of look at it and you can kind of see it, and we can test it with the dipstick here. You can see, I don't know if you can see that on the dipstick or not. Looks pretty good, a little bit shiny. About 3/4 of the way up the stick, so I'm going to call that good. Didn't take the full 500 milliliters like the instructions insisted, but at least this has a low oil alarm on it, so hopefully in the future, if it's an issue with the oil getting low, it will notify us. So now that that's all set, I'm going to go look for a battery. Probably just use the battery off my riding mower for testing for now. We'll test out the electric start and see if that works. Some of the videos that I saw on, at least with the Predator clone motor, which this basically is, I think, another clone just of that motor. It should start on the first pull. So we can pull start it, make sure the recoil is working, and also try the electric start, make sure that's all set as well. Okay. So I took and I ran a bolt through the motor right there into my table just to keep it sturdy while we start it up and give it a try. Right now I'm just going to try the recoil start just to make sure the motor runs and idles well. So let's get a little gas. The instructions on this say that it runs on 86 octane or higher and regular gas. It's just a 4-stroke motor. Let's put a little fuel in it. I'm not going to add a whole lot because just doing this for a simple test. A little bit will do it. Okay. Turn this around here so you can see. Alright, so let's see, there's a fuel on and off, it looks like. choke on and off. Let's go grab the key. I believe this will start, no problem without a battery. But we'll find out here. So choke on off. Fuel. I don't see a primer or anything. Well, let's give it a whirl. First pull, no problem. Pretty amazing. Alright, so now that we got this all set up, let's go ahead and get some of the wiring done. As you can see here, there is some instructions to hook that up to the positive. And then down here, it's kind of hard to see, but it says this bolt right here is used for the negative. So we're going to go ahead and get that wired up. I already went ahead and made some cool connectors. So you got your positive and your negative. I've just got a long coil of wire for right now until I decide how I want to have this set up, like where the battery's going to go and everything. I do have some cool disconnect connectors, which I'll show you in the future what I'll be using. So we'll just hook the positive lead up here. This is just a number 10 wrench. I really like these ratcheting wrenches. I got some of these a while ago, and they are great for doing small things in tight areas and saving a lot of time. So I'm going to lock that down real nice and tight. These are both 10 millimeter. Here, that is also the drain plug. Made a little bit of a mess. I was wondering where that was at. It did not mention it at all. And even on the thing it doesn't say it's a drain plug. So, they actually want you to use the drain plug for the negative terminal. It's interesting. I mean, a negative terminal normally is grounded to the block, right? So, I guess that's their way of dual purposing that. I could potentially use another bolt, which I think I'll do. So I'm not sure that I like that. Especially if you need to change the oil or whatever. Okay, so after some careful consideration, I decided to move the ground wire. Instead of using that drain plug that's in the center, and it looks like there's one on each side too, which is really weird. I am going to move it over here on the housing. You can see right there, there's a little bit of a spot. I'm not going to put it on the painted side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it in right there on the block. So it's technically basically the same as the instructions, just a little further down. And there we have it. Nice and snug. And it's out of the way. So, positive, negative. Let's go get our battery. Got our battery set up over here. All wired in. Get the key in. Fuel on. Been a little bit since we ran it, so we'll do the choke again. And let's see how she works on electric start. Okay, so she runs on electric as well. And I noticed I forgot I took my bolt out of the table, so everything was kind of jittering and trying to jump off the table. But we are good for our testing phase. At least we know our motor is good. Now we will work on trying to figure out how to squeeze this in to the bumper car. There's not a whole heck of a lot of room. I think one of the first steps that I'll wind up doing is probably working on the rear end and figuring out our axle length and what size wheels to buy.